It's Boom! Hello everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back to another video looking at a plus transformer. Today's review is very special because this guy kind of came out of nowhere. His name, as you heard, is Boom, and as the title definitely says, it has an exclamation point in it. Just want to make sure y'all know that's part of his name, alright? Y'all want to be seeing anybody saying boom without an exclamation point, all right? That's not his name. Anyways, Boom is a Decepticon tow truck, as you can see right here. He serves as the combat medic among his soldiers, and his job is to go into the battlefield and collect all of the people who have been hurt or injured on the field. Now, despite his title of combat medic, he's rather simple-minded and fairly crude in his methods. Still, he always seems to find a way to repair his injured brethren. Still, whether or not his techniques are effective remains to be seen. So, as you can see, he turns into a snazzy little pickup truck, orange and maroon. Here's the backside, and you can see his namesake right here, the Boom, holding the hook that he uses to grapple his injured brethren and pull them out of the battlefield. Now, Boom came about as the first part of a larger project that I was potentially working on, but after a little bit of time working on other pieces of that, I decided he works better as a standalone figure. Now, that's enough being said about exactly who Boom is and what he does, but now we can instead go into the transformation. For any fans of my channel, y'all know that I make very complicated transformers sometimes, and Boom is no different. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to take the base of his Boom right here, and we're going to take it right out, and that will become his weapon. We can set that to the side up here. All right. Now, generally, I like to start with the front. Here's the bottom, just so you can see. And we have these kind of two hinges right here. And then the final one is the windshield right here. We just want to keep an eye on all of those, make sure they're all connected throughout the transformation. So, the first step of the transformation, you want to take the front of the grill right here and just slowly pull it out. Maybe readjust pieces once it's out, but you want it to look something like that. As you can see, we can do the same with the other side. And it is definitely a little finicky, but in the end, you can totally get it on out like that. All right. So the next step of the transformation is fairly simple. All you want to do is fold that out. And down here, you can see that orange piece right there. You're going to fold the front of the grill out and down. And that will become his forearm. Next, you want to, at this hinge, right about here, swivel it out just like so, making sure everything is still connected. And now you have a fairly straight line of pieces right there. We'll wait to do the other arm for just now while we finish up this one. Take it at this first hinge down here, right down here. Oh, let's focus it up. There we go. This first hinge right here, you want to straighten out just like that. We will rebend it, but for now, we're going to keep it like that. Flip it to the other side. This piece right here, you're going to disconnect from that mint part, which will eventually become his face, and fold it out just like so. At this point, you have his shoulder pretty much intact. But to finish off the arm, we're going to do two things. One, we're going to take this gray piece right here and fold it at a 90 degree, just like that. And finally, one of my favorite parts of the arm, take the wheel right here. As you can see, it is on that one little point right there. You are going to hinge it around and connect it just like that. And now you have his arm done. with his wheel at the shoulder. Now let's just go ahead and do the other side. And there you have the other arm. All right, now to move on to finishing up the torso section. What we're going to do is we're going to fold this 4-piece little bit right here, just up like that. That will be his head. And finally, all you need to do, well, actually, it's a little more complicated than finally. So this hinge down right here, the second one, you are going to hinge it out just like that, so that these 2 orange pieces right there at the hinge sit flat. Take these orange sides right here, kind of what were the doors of the truck, fold them out just enough so you have clearance to move this. Oh, don't mind me. Like I said, these guys are kind of a handful at some points, but that's all right. He holds together pretty well. You're going to take right at the windshield and you are going to fold down just like that at this hinge right here. And finally, what you're going to do is you're going to straighten everything else up at the shoulders, and you are going to hinge at this hinge down here, just like so, connecting these parts of the windshield to the shoulders in those little ports, just like so. Just take a second to make sure everything is straightened out. Oh, there goes another thing. That's all right. Just want to make sure everything is connected well. I will say sometimes it is easier to remove the arms while you're doing all this. Of course, that's not exactly what you do with a transformer, but because these guys come apart, it's sometimes easier to do that. Anyways, we now have the torso finished. And to finish off the head really quick, take this orange piece back here and just slide it down along the back of his head. And there is this 3 wide little bit here that the end of it can just sit in fairly nicely. And there you have the top of him. Now, the bottom of him is a lot simpler, although it can be just as aggravating. Don't worry, this guy is very fun. First things first, take this peg right here and remove just one of the sides. It does not matter which. I generally go for this right side here. Or I guess left side. I don't know. Like I've said before, I'm bad with directions. Take it, fold it out just like that. And here comes the big mechanism right here. You take these 2 right here, and at the more upper hinge in this position, for both of them, swivel everything out. Just like so. You want to make sure it all stays together, of course. Holding where the crotch is definitely helps keep everything up. But with some minor finagling, you can get it all down like that. And that's pretty much the legs done. All we have to do now is take these doors right here. Let's fold them in just like so. And you can take this part and fold it out at an angle just a little bit. Give him a bit of dynamic positioning. Let's do the same with the other side. Fold that door right on in there and fold that part out just like so. And then we can just make sure everything is situated where it wants to be. And there you have Boooom. Now, Boooom looks very, very fun in his robot mode. I was highly surprised by how well this little figure came out. Now, it might look like he's wearing pants, which I definitely enjoy. And as you might have noticed, he has a big mohawk. This guy is a punk. And it definitely makes sense now that even though he is a medic, he's very, very crude, very free-willed, sometimes doesn't listen to other superiors. He just kind of goes with the flow, and his teammates kind of have to trust him. Although, as much of a madman that he is, they can trust him. Now, if you take That little boom that you had earlier that we took off first, you can see it makes a fairly convincing Tommy gun. And all you need to do to connect that, fold this arm up just a little bit here. On this part right here, you can take the slot right in the back and connect it right there. And there you go. He has his little Tommy gun right there. There we go. Look at that little goober. And I think this Tommy gun makes him look rather menacing, pretty mischievous. Anything you want him to be, he's yours. Now if we remove this Tommy gun here, you also have a secondary play option in the form of some back-mounted guns. If you take these right here, fold them out along the hinge on the windshield, just like so. And we'll do the same with the other one. Then you take these silver bits and flip them 180 degrees, keeping in mind to shift them into position. There you go. And finally, fold them up just like that, keeping them at an angle. And he has some shoulder-mounted cannons now. There you have it. Now, for Boom's posability, he is in fact one of my most posable figures. So let's go over the articulation fairly quickly. Simply starting off with his head, he can move it up and down just like that. If you want him to have a little more mobility looking up, you can move this out of the way, and he can look just a little more up like that. Fairly simple. Next, for his arms, he has a very wide range of mobility going all the way up like that, even over there if he wants, and down as much as you're willing to bend those. Although that's pretty much the extent of that. He can move his elbow, which I say starts right here, but really he's got a double elbow. He can move it out like that and up like that, giving him a very nice curl right there. And that's pretty much it for the arms. He has a section right here. I sometimes think of this as like a mouth. If you ever played D&D or seen a picture of a chest with teeth, this kind of looks like a mimic in my eyes, but he can do that pretty well, bending all the way back. He does not have an ab crunch, unfortunately. Moving the arm out of the way, now onto the legs. He can kick all the way out to, oh wait. Oh, I suppose I've never really kicked his leg out that far. So if you move the doors out more, he can kick his leg pretty far out like that. Kind of a very wide stance. I would never do this really, but it allows you to move his legs around fairly well. His knee can move all the way back like that. He's kind of got a little bit of a goblin knee right there. One of my favorite bits of posability on him is his ankle can move all the way in like that. So if you decide to move it out like that, you can totally keep him standing upright. And finally, he's got his toe/foot, which can move down, down, and up, just like so. In terms of posability, he's nothing compared to an actual Transformers figure, but I am extremely proud with how mobile he is as a plus Transformer, giving him lots of range and posability options. And that was Boom, the deranged Decepticon combat medic. I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned in the near future for an how to build video for Boom, and feel free to watch some of my other videos. I know that I haven't posted in a long time. I had Amphibia just a little bit ago, but rest assured I will be trying to post some more now that I have some motivation. Thank you to everybody who has stayed with me over these years. Thank you to everybody who enjoys these videos, and have a wonderful day. Peace!